Hey, if you're looking to create a set of financial projections for a pickleball facility, then you have come to the right place because we have built a financial projection template built specifically for indoor pickleball facilities. It could be used for outdoor facility as well. And I'm going to walk you through how to fill this template out, really step by step. I'm going to put a link to the template in the description of the video below so you can go down there and grab that template and follow along. Also, if you stick around to the very end of the video as a thank you to you, we're going to give you access to a coupon code where you can take a discount on this particular template as our thank you to you for sticking around to the end. All right, before I dive in, just a little bit of background on me. My name's Adam Huxema. I'm the co-founder of ProjectionHub. Before starting ProjectionHub, I was an SBA lender for 12 years and made over 1,500 SBA loans during my time as executive director at a SBA lender called Bankable. So now I'm kind of on the other side of the table, helping small businesses get ready to apply for SBA loans, primarily helping them with financial projections, business plans, and really just helping them get ready to find a lender and present to a lender. So that's kind of my perception and the hat that I wear in this process. So let's go ahead and dive into the details of this particular template. Okay, so we're going to start here at the at a glance tab. So after you have filled out all of your assumptions, you're going to get a number of nice charts and tables and graphs and different KPIs. So summary data here, key performance indicators. You're going to be able to pull this into your business plan or maybe a pitch deck for investors. You're also going to get a 5-year income statement summary, a 5-year cash flow summary, a 5-year balance sheet, and then the income statement, cash flow, and balance sheet broken down by month for each of the 5 years. Now, in order to produce all of these reports, we have a little bit of work to do, and we're going to walk through all of these assumption tabs. Now, the first thing you need to know is that every cell that's highlighted in blue is an assumption that you can change without breaking anything in the model. The other thing I would mention at this point is if you get a little overwhelmed about all of the assumptions and you say, I just want somebody to fill this out for me based on my specific plans, we can do that. We offer a projection fill out service where we can do that for you. We could customize the model for you as well, and just make sure that it's lender and investor ready. Okay, let me show you how this works though. I think you'll be able to do it on your own. So you can set the projection start month here, and then you can set an opening cash balance. We're going to assume this is a startup, and so we've got a personal investment that we're going to make, $250,000 investment. We're going to make that in month 1 of the model. Accounts receivable terms. So this just means we expect to get paid by our customers when they come to the facility, right? They're going to pay us up front. We're not providing terms to anybody. We're not saying, come utilize our courts here and then pay us next month. We're going to get paid up front. On the accounts payable side, this is kind of the 80-20 rule. We assume 80% of the bills you're going to pay in the month you incur them. Maybe 20% you put on a credit card, or you have some terms with vendors and you get to, have a 1-month delay between when you incur the expense and when you actually have to pay the cash for that. For inventory, we assume maybe you'll have a little bit of inventory, so small opening balance of inventory, and then we set a percentage of inventory carried on the balance sheet each month. So this just means as you grow, you might need a little bit more inventory, and so this, by saying this at 10%, it's just going to keep a reasonable amount of inventory on the balance sheet. You can probably leave that as it is as well. Now here in the fixed asset section, you can set up your different fixed assets. So this could be used a variety of ways. So in this example, I'm going to actually assume that we're buying the land, we're constructing the building and the facility. Now you might also just rent a space and then build out pickleball courts in a space that you're renting. So in that case, instead of actually having a building, you'd have renovation costs instead, right? So in this example, we're saying $200,000 for the land. We're going to make $50,000 worth of improvements to the land, and then we're going to have $500,000 worth of construction for the building itself, $50,000 of equipment, and then $50,000 of fixtures and furniture. We're going to assume that all of these items we are starting in year 1. And the land, for the life expectancy, we can just set this to 10 years, but we're really not going to appreciate the land. So all these other assets will be depreciated. So we see the salvage cost is set to 0 here for all of these assets. So that's going to allow us to calculate depreciation for these assets. The land, we will not depreciate. It will remain at the $200,000 value on the balance sheet. All right, so we're assuming our SBA loan. So let's say we've got a $750,000 SBA loan at 10% interest rate over a 10-year term. All right, let's now dive into the revenue tab. Okay, so there's quite a bit here, but I'm going to walk you through it. So the first thing you need to do is set the total number of courts that you're going to have. So we're going to have 10 courts in our facility. We're going to be open 10 hours a day on weekdays, 12 hours on weekends. We're going to be open 7 days a week. So that will show us the maximum number of available hours per month of court hours that could be booked. And then based on our assumptions, so this is just a little bit of information for us from the data that we put in below. This is how many hours we're actually projecting to book of the total that's available. Okay, so we're going to assume that we have members. And so we're saying a maximum number of members for the facility is 500. We're going to have a $1,000 ad spend each month. We can set a growth rate on that ad spend. And then we can set a cost to attract one new member. So we set that to $100. That means we're going to bring in 10 new members from paid advertising each month. And then let's assume we're going to have new members from word of mouth, social media, or just organic sources. And that we're going to start with 100. Probably your first month, you're going to be doing some pre-launch marketing, getting an email list put together ahead of time so that when you open, you're out of the gate with hopefully a number of members already. So we've got 100 members and 50, and then we kind of bring that down to a steady state and then you're kind of adding 5 new members a month through that word of mouth channel. So that calculates our total number of new members each month. And then here's where we can say, what's the annual churn rate or cancellation rate of those members? So we're saying 25% of our members are going to leave every year. So then this line will calculate our total number of active members each month. So it's the new members minus the ones that canceled plus the number of members you had from the previous month, right? So that gives you your active number of members. And then here we have our different membership options. So we've got a monthly and an annual option. The monthly is a 1-month membership period. Annual is 12 months. And then we can set up our plans. So we've got 3 different plans: a basic, premium, and family membership. Each have a monthly and annual option. You can set a price point for each of those. And then you can set what percentage of your total members, so that's what percentage of these active members are going to fall into each bucket. So we're saying 50% are going to be just this basic single, monthly membership at $30 a month. 25% at the basic membership, but we'll pay annually because we're giving them a discount. The members also get a discount on court rentals and other services. So the assumption here is that they're still going to pay a fee, but they're getting discounts. And depending on what plan you have, you can get a certain number of court hours per month for free. So for example, here in the premium membership, maybe you get 10 hours a month for free, and you're also getting a discount on additional hours that you book. And then we can set an annual price increase here. So the rest of this section is just calculations. Now, one thing you'll notice is there's a difference here because you have those annual memberships. You're going to collect in this first month, for example, you're going to collect $21,000 in cash because you have a bunch of people that are paying for annual memberships. You've only earned $4,363 in terms of membership revenue because you've only earned 1/12 of those annual memberships, but you are getting the cash up front. So you're going to see this deferred revenue here. This is just the difference between the cash that you've collected and the revenue that you've actually earned so far. So keep that in mind. If you have any questions about that, please feel free to reach out. Okay, now we have court rentals. So let's say you're also just open to the public for court rentals. What we're saying here is that 50% of the court rental bookings are from members and 50% are non-members. Okay, so the 50% that are from members, they're getting that discounted rate, right? So here's the 3 different booking types we have for the court rentals. We've got hourly, half day, and full day. We're saying 90% of the bookings are just hourly rentals with weekday price per hour of $15, weekend price per hour of $35. You can see the different rates that we have here, the number of hours that you would get with each booking and the average group size. From there, what we're going to ultimately do here is say, okay, let's say what capacity is actually going to be filled, right? Because we know we have 10 courts and we want to know what capacity is actually going to be utilized with these court rental bookings. And so we're saying on weekdays, we're starting at 25%, ramping up over time to 31%, and then just following a growth rate after that. On the weekends, we're starting at 50% capacity and growing that capacity utilization over time. We can set a maximum capacity filled. So we set to 80%, basically just saying, hey, we're probably never going to be at 100% capacity with every single court. And so we could set something less than 100% here, probably makes sense. We also have revenue opportunities for classes and clinics. So we can say what percentage of the bookings for the classes and clinics are going to be from members, because again, they're going to get a discount on that. So we've got 50% from members, 50% from non-members. We've got group classes and private classes. We can set what start month and end month. So this is like the month that you would start offering these classes. And you can set the number of sessions available per week, the average price per student, the number of hours per session, and then the maximum class size, and then the percentage of bookings, okay? So this is going to you've got this number of sessions per week, right? 2 and 5, and then you've got the class size here. So that is going to help us calculate what is the capacity, the maximum number of students that we can have per month based on these assumptions. And this will then allow us to say, okay, what capacity, what percentage of the capacity is actually going to be utilized or filled. And so we've got a conservative here, kind of starting out 20%, growing up to 33% over time for the classes and clinic revenue. We can also have events. So this could be birthday parties or tournaments, social events, mixers, that sort of thing. So you can set the number of events you're going to have each month. So we just set that to 2. Here's the breakdown of the different types of events you could have. Tournaments, you can set the average number of participants, the average duration, percentage of the events that are each type. And then we can do private events here. So this is kind of ticket-based events where there is a fee here. And then there's private events that could be like parties where each individual is not paying the fee, but there's kind of, one host of the party that is paying. This could be a corporate event or a birthday party type of thing. So we can set the number of events, private events, the average price. We can set a staff cost associated with providing the event. Let's say there's also a food and beverage cost. Maybe there's food and drink that come with the package, right? And so you have some cost here. This should be the cost to you to provide the food and beverage that you've agreed to as part of the package here. You've got the average duration and then the percentage breakdown again. We're getting to the end here. There's a lot of possible revenue streams here, and so we wanted to give you a lot of flexibility to include all of those. Here we have food and beverage. So this is just the ability for visitors to purchase food and beverage. And so we're saying 10% of visitors are going to purchase food or drink, and the average order value is going to be $8.50. Members also get a discount on that. And then here's your cost of goods sold of 30%. So we're saying that the food cost or the drink cost is going to be 30% of the $8.50 of the revenue. We've got equipment rental. So we can say 10% of our visitors are going to rent equipment with the average price of $25 for that rental. That may be a little high. Maybe we make that $15. And you can set a cost of goods sold for that. It's probably a low percentage. You might have a pro shop. You can actually sell equipment or sell clothing or whatever that might be. You can set an average order value and a cost of goods sold on that. Then the last little section here is a direct labor section. So we can set up kind of our direct labor. So this is like hourly employees, not your salaried positions. We'll get to the salaried positions here in a moment. So this would be like front desk staff, pro shop, food and beverage staff, maintenance and cleaning staff. So we can say, okay, these positions are all going to start in month 1. We're adding some additional staff in the front desk and food and beverage in month 36. So as we grow, you need additional staff here. We can set an hourly rate, taxes and benefits percentage, average number of hours per week for those employees, the number of those particular employees, and then the annual raise percentage. Might as well make everybody at 5%. So that's it on the revenue tab. We're getting close here. The other operating expense tab here, we can enter in operating expenses like sales and marketing, general administrative expenses, building expenses like insurance. You'll be able to set up all of these expenses as a fixed dollar amount or a percentage of revenue. So for example, credit card processing here would be a good example of an expense that should be a percentage of revenue. So we've selected percent of revenue here, and 0.03 means 3%. So 3% of your total revenue will be credit card processing. Onto our last input tab here, our salaries tab. We can set the different salary positions, categorize them, put their annual salary, their employer taxes. Maybe you offer benefits. We set that up to be a calculation as 10% of the salary is benefits. You can set what month they start and end, the annual raise. And that really brings us back to where we started. So I know there's a lot there. I know you may be thinking, I've got kind of a unique situation. I want to customize something. Again, if you have questions, you can reach out to us at support@ProjectionHub.com. We'll be happy to answer those questions for free with your purchase of the template. If you, again, decide, I just want you to fill this out for me, we're happy to do that. So reach out to us at support@ProjectionHub.com and we can help get this filled out and customized for your unique situation. Okay, as a thank you for sticking around to the very end of the video, if you go down to the description of the video below, you're going to find a link to a form. If you fill out that form, we're going to send you our most up-to-date coupon code where you can take a discount on this particular template. And if you found this video to be at all helpful, please like and subscribe. It really helps our channel. Thanks.